Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. It's time to get this party started. We're at least on time today. The other day, I think I registered a little late. I didn't even realize that I wasn't registered for the tournament. It's terrible, right? Let me make sure that I do the other things that I have to do, like add So there are 17 women's world champions, and there are 17 men's world champions at the moment. There's a very good chance, that we're going to have an 18th world champion who's 18 years old. 18th world champion who's 18 years old in November. And I do wish to go to that one, so it's going to be tough. Where are we? YouTube Studio. Let's set the settings on yesterday's, which I did not do. While we wait for our registration here. Yesterday's GM Ivan Salgado's birthday. Yes, this stream contains a promotion. There are 10 players. Perfect. We're going to add attack. I'm not sure where we are on the E4 front. I'm very, very concerned that I don't know where we are on the E4 front. Egats, this was June 29th. We'll save those settings. Oh, thank God we're black. At least we know what we need to do with black against E4. Today is going to be a French day since I was watching a Canadian broadcast, The Border. Very interesting show. I think there were only 3 seasons. And Anish Giri's birthday was when? The 28th. Alright, fair enough. And Larry Christensen's birthday was... Oh my God, we didn't even do Larry Christensen's birthday. Let's save the YouTube tags. And... Oh, I have to study this stuff today. I swear to God, I have to study this stuff. So F4. Let's just play as standardized as we can. Recording date. Oops, let's find out when was Larry Christensen's birthday. The 27th. Wow, so this is our 4th day in a row of streaming. Trying to build up another streak. Can I do it this way? No, I cannot. This is a fascinating way of approaching it, right? I'm going to try this one. So we saved all these changes. Good. So we've done all of the tagging and backing. Kramnik's birthday was a world champion's birthday. I didn't do that one either. Wow. Kramnik's birthday was on the 25th. So first things first, let's just keep attacking. Go ahead, make my day. So if DC5... Oh no, I'm playing Charles Numero Uno. I did not pay attention to that either. Trying to do my YouTube tags for every item this week. Posting all of this week's items to the playlist. It was Tuesday, June 25th. That was Larry Christensen's birthday. Something's wrong with this picture, folks. So what is wrong with this picture? Let's try to pretend like... we are overworking him to a good extent. Let's see what we get out of this deal. Yes, this pawn could be hanging. Indeed it could. What in the world? It is amazing how a plan comes together. Put his pieces on the side of the board. And now what do we wish to do? We're going to go this way and then that way. What is this? The music from Harry Potter? And now for something completely different.
Kingslayer Sloan said,
Good morning, Rogan. How are you?
Like us to train 10-0, just remembered I could do that. Dark Blade said, hello sensei.
Alright, Larry Christensen's birthday, Kravnik's birthday, Alan Turing's birthday. Oh my god, we didn't even... Oh, we did set Alan Turing's birthday. Good. So all of the YouTube information is up.
Sloan said, Dobby House the freedom for that.
Dobby has the freedom, you say. How did I know he might do that?
Kingslayer Sloan said, love this tune.
You and who else?
Said, if it ain't KSS, how re the curls going?
I'm not improving the position of any of his pieces unless necessary. He has 3 attacking that. Interesting. Let's go after that one. Maybe I should have gone in that direction in the first place. Just maybe I should have gone in that direction in the first place. Chess. Is this gonna work? Takes, 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 and then takes. No, huh? This is one way of getting our pieces into the game. He did protect his pawn this way, that much is true. He did protect his pawn this way. And now, so if I play this check, Ah. He gets a bit of counterplay here.
Dark Blade
Not much is true.
said, "What s with the Halloween songs today?"
Whoa, he didn't do it. So am I safe? Or am I not safe? Oops. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. This could be tricky. Mm-hmm.
Dark Blade said, "Not too tricky, just gotta promote right."
Cheers.
Dark Blade said, "Oh god, that's such a crazy move."
Yeah, I was very lucky. I was very lucky. This game may still end in a draw, but we'll know in a moment. I don't have much of a choice, actually. I need to gain time on him. And I need to make sure that his pawns are on certain color squares. Let's get this buddy moving.
Dark Blade said, "You can win the bishop vs rook."
Yep, I can. Just needed to gain a little bit of time for Charles there.
Dark Blade said, "Yeah, this is over. To know why you shuffled."
That was a very ugly game. He could have checked with c6 when I played h2. That would have created a few problems. Just a few problems. Heart pounding. Heart pounding. Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, we will not move our rook until it is checkmate. Technique with the king alone. Let's do it. Technique with the king alone. We're not going to move the rook at all until the king is checkmated. Basic exercise for beginners. Checkmating with the king alone. Oh, you gods. Alright, so this stream is sponsored by Chess Informant. Please check out that last link for special product pricing if you haven't already. You can also read about the power of Chess Informant in the article featuring Bobby Fischer. It's time to rewrite that ad. Promote a particular product. Oh, I didn't look to see if I needed another E4. Uh-oh. Oh, I still need 5 E4s, don't I? Because I'm only at 55. What is my opponent doing? Let's play it this way.
Dark Blade said, "You didn't take opposition when king was on h-file earlier for some reason."
It's true, I didn't. Look at my opponent appreciating this position ever so much. Can I do it that way? Takes, 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 takes. No, we'll go this way. I'm going to try to remove the defender of this, that, and the other thing. Wow, I can get away with this.
Dark Blade said, "By the way, Sensei, will you have time to review a game today?"
I hope so. Now that the H file is open, let's open the H file the rest of the way. Let's remove some of the defenders of the H file while we're at it. Tag, tag, tag.
Dark Blade.
This could have been fatal.
Thank God, because I lost half of my soul with the aforementioned game. I seek retribution.
Half of your soul sounds very, very serious. Alright, moment of truth. Maybe I should have taken first. So let's see here. Rook check. Doesn't quite work, huh? It's got to keep developing here.
Darkblade said, "Is there a point in actually calculating from completely winning positions? I almost never do it."
I do it when I have an intriguing idea. Let's just say I should have calculated back here. I should have calculated right here. I don't really want to know the answer, by the way. So right here, I probably could have calculated. Like, this whole thing is pretty much over, right? So therefore, I don't think he escapes if I play this pawn move first. But I played this check, and then I played that check. Now I really should calculate in this position as well. I can threaten mate in 1 with bishop to g5. Or threaten mate in a few, I think. So check. And now here, once again, I think that I had to take on f5, maybe? But instead I took this way. And I don't know. I feel like I should have calculated here. So let's see. So instead of that move, Queen h8 check instead. And after bishop check, he doesn't have any of the aforementioned moves, right? I feel like it's very close to mate. King to e7. So king to e6, I can just take. So I could have done this in the game as well. I could have done this in the game, and then it's basically forced checkmate. E takes f5 check. Yada, yada, yada. So I basically missed checkmate. We're at 25.56. Let's mark that one down. I need 5 e5s. Fortunately, all the other games are still going. By the way, if you are an aspiring chess player, do not play like Black just did.
Said, "Not quite missed, slightly delayed."
Slightly delayed, indeed. I knew the mate was coming, indeed. Thank you, Darkblade. Dragon Emperor. Not bad turnout for 10 minutes before the round. I basically got the announcements. My grandson was occupying me with a chess game downstairs. We got the chessboard set up. He's so sweet and so good at it. And he set up the board all by himself in order to play. Have to use a real chessboard with the youngest of the young, honestly. Ironically, in school, it's the other way around. The kids labor over the placement and the tediousness of the over-the-board pieces while they absolutely relish the online play in the classroom.
Darkblade said, "Do you go easy on him though, sweet spot?"
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're just moving the pieces. There's no check or checkmate issues for the most part. It's all about capturing. In fact, I actually thought about the capturing game, where if there is a capture, you must make it. But I think that should only apply to the pawns. What?
Darkblade said, "My mother always taught me with no mercy strategies. They efficiently demonstrate that loss equals to growth."
It is a good strategy in general. Much better strategy. Loss equals to growth. Loss equals learning. So the grandson is off to his martial arts class. He is so cute. Oh my god, he's so cute. He's a good kid. Cross our fingers that he stays that way, right? So what was I watching? I was watching, I'm trying to catch up on Battlestar Galactica. And the border. And I may, since the board is set up in the living room, quite lovely.
Said, "Martial arts are the best life decision. Which one will he learn?"
Right now he is in Taekwondo because it is the most common and easily learned one. I wanted to find an Aikido, which I think will be next year's. If I can find a good Aikido studio in the general area, I believe that one is the most practical martial art for everyday living. It's like there are judo techniques. Like judo was thought to be, when I was a kid, judo was thought to be the most common up close skill that you could learn. And I learned Taekwondo when I was young. I didn't get to stay in it because my family wasn't that well off, so therefore I could not continue with it. And now I'm living a relative life of middle-class luxury. Middle class being the operative word. I'm not that wealthy, unfortunately. I think the best dreamers at the moment are the ones who are well off, who are very set for the most part. Like, you don't see Anna Kremling paying rent or anything, you know. She has nothing to worry about and everything to gain. It is her entire life's enterprise. Nemsko, I think, is back at home, which is a very good life decision on her part. Refocus everything. Like, rent is such a huge waste of wealth. Rent is the number one waste of wealth, I think, of all of the wasteful things that anyone can do. Ooh, with this discovery, this is going to be fatal. This could be very, very fatal. Queen here. Nikita Kunich. Queen G6. Uh-oh. Oh, he threw in a check, but it can be answered by a check. And if it's answered by a check...
Darkblade said, I did Taekwondo too for years. It was alright honestly, however I wouldn't recommend Aikido at all.
Really? No Aikido? Why is that? Queen takes E3 check next. Queen takes E3 check, and then Rook takes Rook next, and then I think that we are set for the most part. Queen H3. I didn't like that idea, but it works out well. Repeat. Repeat. Do not check. Oh, he's watching out for that tactic. That's a good tactic to watch out for. I was thinking that he should have played Queen to H8 check when he had the chance. Now life is getting a little stickier, Moneypenny. H5 is always in the lurch. Ooh, how's that for simplification? Now all you needed to do is improve your king. Fix those pawns and win the exchange up endgame. A4 would have been more to the point. But okay. Now there are no weaknesses for white, only strengths. Maybe that was a little hasty, don't you think?
Darkblade said,
oh no, and he
if
sealed
I
off
ever
his own
returned
rook.
to martial arts now, I would go for something like MMA. Honestly, Taekwondo is too reliant on high kicks and spars, which can be impractical and dangerous in real scenarios, and any wrestling like is always dangerous because you have to close in.
That is true. That is a very, very serious problem, of course. And now F4, just to make life interesting. When you, really all he needs to do is play rook to b7, rook takes b6. Oh, he's listening. Nikita Kunich is listening. That was just a check. Spoiler alert, backseating is allowed in the dojo, unfortunately. We are here to learn. The simplest way is just to win with those two passed pawns on the king side.
Darkblade said, leg kicks have a huge advantage in my opinion because they can work well against short knives too. Anything else can lead to a serious injury.
It's true. We're playing the French, remember? I believe that this is my recommended line on average. The unclear positions that result in the McCutcheon are relatively priceless.
Darkblade said, anyway, back to chess. Didn't you get claustrophobia with the French, sir?
Claustrophobia? I don't think so. The reason why h4 is played on the 9th move, by the way, is to prevent this possibility of reaching this endgame. Knight to d7 next. So let's see here. Maybe not. Maybe we'll go in this direction. Oh, he's going in that direction, is he? Do I wish to do this or do I wish to do that? Yeah, I do wish to do this. E5 is very tempting. Oh no! I blundered. He had knight, and he had it again. My God, he had it again. He had it twice.
Dark Blade said, "Few opponent got dust in their eyes, thankfully."
Yeah, right? So he's got knight f2, knight g4. Let's just barnacle on this side of the board ever so carefully. Do I want to do it that way? Knight takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, knight takes, rook takes. It's very ugly, I have to admit. He has rook takes d5 and rook to d7. I did not think this one out very carefully, unfortunately. First things first, let's blockade. Then we will go for the other side.
Darkblade said, honestly I feel like a bad day can drop performance by at least 200-300 rating points. I mean Lance once hung a not so obvious M1 against me.
Yes, indeed. I wanted a highly original position, and I got it. Yeah, we'll just keep the pressure up. If we can, keep the pressure up. Interesting. Did not think this one through enough.
Darkblade said, RC6 here.
Perhaps. I can't bring myself to play it.
Darkblade said, crazy if that works actually.
Needed A5 and needed A5 first, and that way I could play exactly what I want to play. Darn it, I mistimed everything. I definitely mistimed this. I lost a lot of time on this one. Yes, yes. I definitely lost a lot of time. And now I'm mated, unfortunately. Am I mated?
Dark Blade said, "You're what? No way."
First things first, I have to protect my knight. It is one of my weaknesses. Rook and knight endgames is definitely one of my weakest suits. So now the rook's protected, the knight's protected. Well, that's fascinating. Knight takes, rook takes, knight takes. Boom.
Dark Blade said, "The legendary obliterated pawn structure endgame has arisen."
And now for something completely different. Well, I'm just happy that his king is far enough away. Probably I think he transposed just a little bit. Wow, to go from a dead lost position to a hanging rook. He forgot that my knight can move backwards. Or was it a mouse click? Could have been a mouse click. Master Chess Dojo as black. $4.16. Where's this? 1, 2. I believe that was our second French of the day. Mm-hmm. And at knight f6, we're at 369. We need one more of those. h6. We need a lot more. We seem to only be at 21. Cross that one out. b6. We are finished with b6. And a6, we're 87% with a6 against e4. The St. George defense. That could be my new opening. 87% with a6. And against d4, we're at 78. And I need 5 d6s against d4. Whew. All right. So this is our third e4. Our second e4, maybe. It's only the fourth round. And how am I going to continue this? He's playing properly. Let's just wait one more move. It's a very astute observation that he doesn't put his knight on c6. He's an educated player. So now that he's got multiple directions on this one, Hmm. Now the knight on d7 seems woefully misplaced, thankfully. I did have bishop d3, knight f4, bishop e4, knight takes f2, king to f1. Where does his knight go if I were to play that way? Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Senor Yap's got me. I tried to get too cute. Way too cute. He had king g7 on g8-7, so I thought this was going to be different for some reason. That was craziness. What? King g7? It's only plus 0.2? I resigned here? Wait just a moment. f8 equals bishop. Ah, silly me. Never give up, never surrender. That's what you learn by never resigning. And I'm still better. Wow. I wanted to play rook c7, but all I have to do is play bishop f8 equals knight or equals queen check first. Wow. How terrible was that, ladies and gentlemen? It was a fascinating game until it wasn't. So as black and as white, Ye gads, folks. How horrible is that? What color did I have in the first round? I had black in the first round, so there's no guarantee that I'm going to get 2 whites. Wow. Deep Sengupta. And I don't think that there's claustrophobia in any opening once you realize that the bishop on c8 is already developed in the French, so you actually don't need to move it. So therefore you're actually a leg up on the opening once you play the French. If you realize it, you don't have to move the bishop on c8 for quite some time to come. I do feel the absence of my white squared bishop. That much is true. Oh, trust me, I felt the 200 to 300 point rating drop on many occasions. I remember when I lost 4 games in one tournament, I was like, what in the world? Like normally I lose 1, 2, maybe 3, but to lose 4, or I can't possibly imagine. Let's cross my fingers I never see a day when I lose 5 games. Five games in one event. That might be more than a 200 to 300 rating point drop. Charles is playing. And he's getting mated with bishop h6, unfortunately. What happened to Charles here? Let's just take a quick peek. What in the world happened here?
Dark Blade said, "Have you ever gotten a nightmare about chess?" I have actually.
Oh, I remember my original nightmare. My earliest nightmare in chess was when I realized I did not know how to win a chess game. That was my earliest nightmare in chess. Basically, I woke up realizing that my opponent never had to lose any material to a tactic or give anything away. He could keep everything protected. And that he would never have to allow checkmate or a mating attack. And then I was like tossing and turning, wondering how I would ever win the game. And then I discovered at the course of that tossing and turning in several awakening moments that I would be able to win the game a third way. By the way, my memorable games are available at that link that I provided on the website. No subscription required to view those. I'll put the link on YouTube for the playlist as well. I should be able to provide a custom name for the playlist and not just that generic one.
Said, "You can't win if you play well. You can win because the opponent doesn't."
Well, I disagree. You can play. The secret in that nightmare that I had was that I realized that despite how well my opponent plays, I can still win the game. So what happened here? So he's up a pawn in this position. He's even up the exchange. He doesn't play bishop f5 for some strange reason. This is a little bit of a mistake. There's a big hole on d4 in this position. So capturing might not have been such a bad idea. But okay, so he gets this. And now he should still be able to develop his pieces with a purpose. He should be developing very anxiously with a purpose. And he should lock down on this bishop completely. So basically bishop f5 and d3. And that knight is not leaving the board. This pawn is not leaving the board. And that bishop is now golden.
Darkblade said, then I'll summon you to avenge me against Leelanitods. Then I'll summon you to avenge me against Leelanitods. I need help with the trauma it caused to me.
Yeah. That I can understand. And instead of taking, by the way, in this position, we should not have taken, but we should have actually pushed our pawn 2 squares. There's actually no squares for this knight to move to. Until he actually plays the move g4, there's no reason to even remotely think about this move. So let's just say we play a5, and if they play g4, we play a4 first, because the knight needs to be protected. The queen needs to move back, perhaps to even a square where it's going to be attacked, and then you get to put your bishop on d3 and hold that position. If he goes to b2, that's a different story. Then I might take, and we will play this position with a vengeance another way. All right, e4 against Ali Reza.
Darkblade said, I mean, how do I have a 112-0 score against an opponent that starts every game down a knight? How is this even possible? I feel like I could beat any human up a piece.
You would think, right? You would most definitely think that you could beat any human up a piece.
Darkblade said, I mean, yeah, no human would pull out the madness of that freaking bot on me, right?
The madness of that freaking bot, indeed.
Darkblade said, I played one good game against it yesterday and I really need you to see what I mean. You cannot fathom the horror and despair I experienced.
I wish I could help you with that, but there is no guarantee in any event.
Darkblade said, it just feels like even if I do everything right, it's still wrong even when my moves are in the top 2 stock fish lines all the time.
I do hear you on that. Mm-hmm. We're up to 2:34. We've managed to equalize the time. And now for something completely different. Oh no! I lost my queen. How clever was that? I needed to push e5 first. I needed a pawn on that square.
Said, oops.
Yeah. I enjoyed that position immensely. This one's already registered? This e4 is already registered? What? It has already registered. That's my third e4, and this is round 5. Yes, that was round 5, and I lost round 5. So I did get 3 e4s in. I was expecting to be black that game. b4, knight e2. I'm pretty sure that c4 was a mistake. I should have kept the tension. Knight h2. Knight h2 and f4. Knight g3 and queen d2. Also important. Rook fd1. Had not considered abandoning ship on the f4, f5 plan. I really didn't form a good plan here. Had 2.5 minutes and I didn't use it. It's probably my greatest regret in that position. Charles got a full point bye. Where's his rating at? His rating is pretty steady. He lost to Ali Reza before me, unfortunately. 2.5 minutes that I didn't use. I just didn't look at what's my opponent's big idea. Trapping my queen. I literally moved my knight to the only square that would trap my queen. I could have played knight to h2, which is what my original plan was. Not knight to e2. Mate in 31. I I can't believe you missed a mate in 31. Come on. Let's watch this game. So, let's regroup. Can we regroup and place our bishop on this diagonal? Oh no. He just gave up the bishop instead of just defending. And bring another attacker in that way. This is our worst placed piece. It would be lovely to get this bishop into the game. He just plain forgot about his rook. Ouch. Followed by mate. Senor Yaps. Yeah, that will do it. All these pieces on vacation. I don't recommend this opening at all, but if you're not diligent with the white pieces, it can prevail. Wow. What an attack by the opponent. I was very lucky against Jorge, wasn't I? So against d4. Stefano. I need 2 c5s and 2 d5s. Let's get a c5 in. Let's put this one at 49. The reason for playing knight c3 is not that one. That was interesting. Giving up on the weakened white squares on my side of the board. Fair enough. Wow, he didn't try to stop me. He had to play a5. I blundered there, by the way. It was most definitely a blunder. Mouse slips, by the way, never occur if you don't use your mouse. By the way, it doesn't happen anyway. And now, can I get away with f5? So do I play f5 or do I not? Told me once, but I forgot. I think I do. My king is extremely exposed. I don't have much of a choice here. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have taken his pawn structure on that side of the board more seriously. Wow, he didn't go for it? He did not go for it. That's so bizarre. Now I'm hanging a whole bunch of stuff. It is very scary. Check, check. He has 1 check, 2 checks, 3 checks, 4 checks. So queen to d8. Queen to e8 was a better move on queen to d2 than what I played. Namaste. Thank you for the follow. Paul Reiger. I have to reset. We already handed out the 5 gifted subs, so we have to reset the follower goal with exactly that. First things first, we have to play this. It is very scary, I admit. So rook to f7 check, king moves, takes, takes. We'll see. It does look like he is checkmating me appropriately enough. We have a lot of passed pawns. Should be a freebie. Now he's in dire straits. Miscalculation. Well, that was interesting. So the move he missed was rook f6 check. I don't necessarily know what I was going to do on rook f6 check in this position. Rook f6 check. Ye gads. It tells me I was supposed to play bishop takes f6, but I was busy calculating everything here. Bishop f6.
Dark Blade said. Current Swiss tournament https Lycus.org Swiss LKG. Current Swiss tournament https Lycus.org Swiss LKGIGLE.
Not gonna lie, your bot is annoying. Which one? Whew. Paul, yeah, no, we have got, the one that's going on right now is, unfortunately, I can't alter it anymore. You can only enter in the first 5 rounds in a Swiss system. They have the ability to bookmark this game right away. Look at that. So many changes have taken place. Even when I was attempting to...
Dark Blade said. Yes, but it's close to the end, so I think you might have trouble joining. Almost everything is rated here for the record except simuls.
Yeah. King to g6. Oh, king h5. Knight takes h4, bishop check. And then it's equal, it claims. Wow. Everything is protected. Queen d3, knight e8. Wow, he has no way of checking me at all. That's crazy. Would I have found this? I don't have the ability to take on d5. That's annoying. This would be the move that I'd be concerned about. Knight e8, queen h7, check, king to g5. Wow. Absolute craziness. Queen to e7 check. Rook f6. And my passed pawns are promoting. Wow. This is a very hairy endgame. So we will run something immediately after this, possibly. Oh no. Almost is a terrible word. I'm sorry to hear that. But at least you're getting there. Basically, if you want to be over 1900, I recommend studying very ferociously. It almost doesn't matter what you study. As long as you're not just studying opening, study something real. The most recent book I was looking at, I wanted to prove the games that I've already done in Gligorich's I Play Against Pieces. And I am missing about 15 games. I've done 99 of the 115 games or so in this book. It's possible. This is Tony Miles, It's Only Me. It's Only Me was his Internet Chess Club handle, as he played frequently and often on the Internet Chess Club. It's Only Me is an anagram of Tony Miles. It's Only Me. That's how smart he was. Basically, he looked for an anagram within his name for his username, and that was it. How many people do that? Where are you from, Tony, Paul? I am FIDE trainer and national master. I know most of the information is probably already in my about. Yeah, I lost track when I broke a dozen national champions. It's possible that I've coached more than 24 national champions. One way or the other, I've helped and had a hand in. I remember Mirad Sher approached me, or we were talking at a book seller at whatever moment, and every time I mentioned a name, he said he'd coached them, he'd coached them, he'd coached them, he'd coached them, and I'm like thinking, are you counting? Having them as, you know, a team, having them as a camp, class, or a clinic, or workshop? Because if that's the case, then I can claim easily more than dozens. I've even worked with Grandmaster Nico Chasen when he was young. He's not a Grandmaster yet. He soon will be. He's working on those norms feverishly as we speak. He should be studying every day, every single day, 8 hours a day during the summer. I would actually use this time to really just plow in. And we're still on the French, I believe. This is our third French for the period. Third of 5. Well, there are several things that you can do when you go over a game of any type. Basically, you can study the game first as a whole, and then and only then might you study the game from the perspective of how is the game won? That's a very important question to always ask yourself. How is the game won? The next question that can easily be asked is, where were the critical mistakes, and how could the opponent have done better to bolster your defensive and offensive techniques? I feel like this is going to lead to even more stuff, fascinatingly enough. Interesting. So he's planning on queen h5 check to get his pawn back? Is he planning on queen to h5 check to get his pawn back? Well, let's throw in this check just in case. And see how he answers it. Now we're going to go with this one. Wow, he's left himself this for quite some time, yeah? So, where is that knight going? Well, you do have that. That's fascinating. Takes, takes, takes. And now for something completely ridiculous. We're taking the pawn on a4, yeah?
Dark Blade said, Paul Rieger too don't wanna be the bearer of bad news, but I'll help you snap back to reality. Your 1900 classical and 1781 rapid, that is nowhere near top 1. You need to get twice as good before you can say that, so work diligently to earn it, youngster.
Really? We're going to play that move? But what do you have in the case of... Takes, check. Check. Alright, I am curious as to what you're going to be doing about this. I want a pawn on the second rank. Can I get that? First things first. Just a small tickle. Really? You're giving up on it? I can't believe you're giving up on it. The French defense. I was expecting bishop to f1, queen to g1 mate. But I guess that was too easy to find. C'est la vie. So getting back to where we were, how bad was that opening anyway? That opening was pretty bad. As black, we are now at 418 in Frenches when that one catches up. We need one more knight f6. Interesting that we don't already have our computer analysis up over here. Oh, it should appear now. Probably it will appear after this one, now that Avalanche has appeared. .418, indeed. We had one d4, so we're not going to make it to 420. I expected fully king takes f1. You can see that we have a clear advantage already. Then a3 turns it into a decisive advantage. Oh no. And then c to b5 turns it into a decisive advantage because I'm just going to finish my opening. Knight takes c4. Knight e4 was indeed the move that I was worried about. Instead, I should have played e4 now, attacking the rook first. D takes c4 was a little weak. I should have played e4, and only now when this one moves do I actually play anything else, such as bishop takes, such as b takes or bishop takes. But I don't really want him to take on c4 with check, so therefore in this particular position I would probably still play the same move that I played, and we transpose to the game. Was there a better move here? King h8 might have been a better move. Bishop c7 was the best move, and it's improved it to so here this was dubious. Knight takes f5, a takes b5 is what I was expecting. And queen e5 would have been a better move, yeah, instead of queen f4. Let's observe Senor Yaps. Paul Rieger, I'm not going to ask you which person you are. I doubt that you are Senor Yaps, but Germany is high on my list of places. I heard there's an anime conference going on in Dusseldorf. It's the Domoko? I don't know if it's true anime or not. It was being discussed somewhere.
Dark Blade said, I found his account, he just joined and he is not in the arena.
No, he's not in the Swiss just yet. So I would suggest studying the German School of Chess. There's a beautiful book by the name of Why Lasker Matters. Where you are at 1900, I would definitely study from the ground up. And I mean that in all seriousness. Study from the ground up. Start with Lasker in the modern era, and then make sure that you've very well grounded in the fundamentals. Get a book, play through the games, create a study on Lead Chess, make it private. I can't stress that enough. Make it private.
Dark Blade said, he is objectively closer to 1,800. Classical ratings are just inflated.
You think classical ratings are inflated? I resemble that remark. I'm like 1900 classical. Aren't I? Aren't I 1900 classical? Alright. I am 2140 classical. I take it back. But I remember when I was 1900. Classical ratings are just inflated. I actually think that they're fairly true on Lead Chess. I do feel like my rapid rating and my classical rating reflect where I am. My over-the-board rating,
said,
FIDE, is
yeah,
more like my
actually,
blitz
I got
rating.
1900 classical while being 1,700, 1,800.
Yeah, but I think you were ahead of the curve. The strangeness about classical on Lead Chess is that you never know about your opponents. So I do believe that you've got a certain percentage that are keeping you down at the same time. On average. Senor Yaps versus Stefano.
Dark Blade said, well, he is 1,800 rapid too, so it's not far off.
So when I was at that level, the unfortunate part is the ratings work on a 400-point scale. So basically half of your games you're playing 400 points below your strength on any given move, and 400 points above your rating on any given move. Your goal is to study so that the average strength of your moves moves upwards along that 400-point scale. Another thing to avoid is to try to avoid moving pieces backwards. Like this knight getting into white's face is getting very, very tough and very, very awkward. Queen. Basically, queen to g1 check, queen takes f4 check. I'm not after the h3 pawn. I knew he would avoid the trade of queens. So this means what? This is a free pawn. You can trade queens at any time. Now it's become very problematic as to whether or not we're going to win this game because of our weakness on c6. We have to take with the f pawn to be able to answer with f5 on bishop 2.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
But people move quickly and their ratings are exactly what they are supposed to be, right? So now how do we want to answer this? Basically now black is better. By exchanging on that square, black is now better. And now all we have to do is improve our king position. f5. Walk our king up.
Dark blade.
And play g5.
Said, my guy had a whole minute and a half and missed a free pawn.
Really? That's tough. I don't think we can go this direction, by the way. I really don't think we can go this direction because we don't want to allow an outside pass pawn. But maybe we can. g5, g4.
Just shocked, honestly.
g5, knight f4, knight takes h5. King takes. Our knight is well placed.
Dark blade. Said, I wouldn't allow bh5 here in any way.
This is a gain of time. Because now the pawn moves forward and we're not going to be able to stop this, and the pawn on d4 is still hanging whenever this bishop tries to stop this pawn. Is he going to get bishop f5 in? That was a tough game. Looks like we should make it to round 9 today. I need one more round in order to catch up to Jorge, because I accidentally lost my queen to Ali Reza. Yuck.
Dark blade. Said, wasn't there like bf4 in time though if he didn't waste time?
Yeah, if he didn't waste that move, he actually might have had a shot. Let's go back to that game. Congratulations, everybody. I meant to congrats to these players. Jorge 528. Nice work, sir. What? I thought it used to be that you could click on the player's name and it would take you to their... Am I missing this spelling? Did I spell it wrong? Oh no, I did. Oh no, and I misspelled it again. Now when I click on his name, it should bring me to his profile. I love tallying up my my tournament points. I've got 17,000 tournament points. That does, to me, add up to a lot when you look at any other player. The amount of tournament points they have
Dark
is
Blade
key.
said, Black was winning throughout the whole endgame honestly, but yes, bf4 was the closest shot.
Or was it bishop f5, you mean? Something along those lines. Jorge took care of Charles numero uno in the next to last round. We only made it 7 rounds? Oh no. That's awkward. Let's see what happened here with Charles numero uno. So far, so good. Jorge plays the same way with both colors, fascinatingly enough. Personally, I like to shove the f-pawn in this particular lineup. There was no reason to allow that weakness on that side of the board. Yeah, don't allow any weakness. Stamina over a long period of time is really what it's all.
I get bf4, I meant b8, it's not even close, I'm tripping.
Oh, bishop e8 straight away, yes. But no, we were talking about bishop f5. We were talking about bishop f5. So I can't believe, I mean, Black was doing extremely well in this game. So far, so good for White, honestly. And now White has a huge space advantage. All he has to do is centralize his rooks and prepare the break, actually. I think I would prepare the break even more. I wouldn't even do it now. I would prepare this break even more. I might play rook to e2, bishop to e1, and bishop to g3, and prepare this break even more. Wait for that knight to move, perhaps. Queen to g3, maybe that does the same thing. Just to get the king safe, basically. Knight e8. Oh, we don't want him to play f5. Fine, fine, fine. We need to cover this one, so it's awkward. Whenever we play f5, Black is going to be able to play something extremely annoying.
h3, h4, h5.
That was also a very important option, right, Ron? Ladies and gentlemen, Pegasus, aka Ron Hay.
Said, is there time for that game review BTW? I'm all tired yet I need justice.
Pegasus is one of the legends of the stream. Not even sure if Fiona streams anymore. So in this position, yeah, king to h1, allowing this. I still would like this bishop to be on a better square over here. But it looks like Black is already better. From the moment of this break, Black's is already better. You have to prepare this attack. You cannot just attack without having prepared. One of my favorite stories is studying Garry Kasparov's games, and he's built up this beautiful position like this one, and I expect him to bust open the opponent. But no, he brings another piece to a better square and prepares the attack. And now he's got this huge cloud of pieces hanging over his opponent, but does he bother to attack? No, he improves another piece, and he keeps improving another piece until I'm ready to pull my hair out with suspense. And only when he has improved everything over a period of 9 to 10 moves from the time I first thought he was going to attack, guess what? Then he busts open the thunderstorm upon his opponent's position. Let's hope that one came out. Let's see how that clip came out, by the way. I'm going to play Gary Kasparov's games, and he's built up this one, and I expect him to
Pegasus Sway,
the opponent. But no,
said,
he brings another piece
thanks,
to a better
just
square
regular chess player. Interesting with Pawn Storm. You might be thinking of Kasparov Karpov games too, I think.
Bother to attack? No, he improves another piece, and he keeps improving another piece until I'm ready to pull my hair out with suspense.
Dark Blade,
and only when he has
said,
improved everything over a
pretty
period of 9
good
to
clip
10 moves
actually.
from the time I first thought he was going to attack, guess what? Studying Gary Kasparov's games, and he's built up this beautiful position like this one, and I expect him to bust open the opponent. But no, he brings another piece to a better square and prepares the attack. And now he's got this huge cloud of pieces hanging over his opponent, but does he bother to attack? No, he improves another piece, and he keeps improving another piece until I'm ready to pull my hair out with suspense. And only when he has improved everything over a period of 9 to 10 moves from the time I first thought he was going to attack, guess what? Studying Gary Kasparov's games, and he's built up this beautiful position like this one. All right, we featured that clip. That was good. Let's turn down the music just a little bit. So as it turns out,
said, you got the end cut off, I think.
Well, I like the idea of guess what? Because now they have to guess. Does he keep improving pieces, or does he actually attack? That's the question. No, he literally had it. It's one of the earliest games in fighting chess by Gary Kasparov. This was a book, one of the earliest books I studied cover to cover to send me toward master strength. The original Fighting Chess by Wade and Gary Kasparov. And I think another author joined in for a later version of this book that now exists in Dream. John Spielman. This is the same book, a later edition with more games included. He's smiling on this one. I don't necessarily like it as much as I like this one. I think this one is more along the true Gary, that he's looking at you on the board and he's going to dump on you like crazy. Studying Gary Kasparov's games, priceless. Absolutely priceless. If you are a already 2000 player. Prior to 2000, I believe you should build up your foundations a lot
Dark
like...
Blade said, that is such an evil touch though for the record, I like it.
Yeah, exactly. They should have kept the original cover picture, or they could have found a more ferocious picture of him at the board in full force, fighting chess, not smiling chess. Who believes in smiling chess? And I believe that he might have flubbed this one, but he just had such good knights over the bad bishop. It was interesting that the bishop couldn't do anything, and there was only one weakness in the position, and it was on c6. He gets this far, and he doesn't take on d4 with check. In fact, that's not necessarily the best move. Knight to g2 was the best move. Hard to believe that knight to g2 is the best move. But queen to d4 check does finally appear as the best move. King c2, g takes f5, and we're just dominating. Dominating. Because the king is on c2, we'll always have Paris. We'll always have queen to e4 check. And that king can't do anything. So he trades queens this way, which is actually equal. And he has everything under control. He had to go for it right away. Oh, he had bishop takes a4. Wow.
Blade said, dear Lord the flashbacks.
I know, right? Yet bishop takes a4, and now we are desperate in this position.
Dark Blade said, I once lost a winning game like this, never gonna leave it down.
Yeah, I did in Oslo as well. I allowed a bishop sacrifice along the long pawn chain as well, similarly. I just did not see the opponent's big idea. What's the opponent's big idea? So again, Paul Riegers from Germany, basically. When you study games, pay attention to them improving their worst placed pieces. Pay attention to them not attacking one weakness, but waiting for a second weakness. Pay attention to them respecting their opponent's big idea and making prophylactic maneuvers. Pay attention to them improving their king position or their king safety in small ways, basically by either fortifying their king's position. One of my favorite games by Petrosian, he was the original one to do it, was when he wanted to attack on the king side and he took his king from g8 as black and he shuffles it all the way to the queen side. Karpov later did this and everyone attributed it to Karpov because no one has a memory for the older classical games. I wouldn't doubt if Alekhine or Steinitz did not produce such a similar miracle by getting the king out of the way first and only then attacking the opponent from a position on the king side where their king would have been in danger had they continued on their merry way. So he could have saved this position at some point. Yeah, this was a little bit hasty. I might have gone in that direction. Would have been the same thing, perhaps. Bishop e8, knight e8. We're still losing. But it was a shot. There's still no way to do it here. And now, unfortunately, we're losing on this side, so we have to move our king away. We have no chance.
Dark Blade said, yet it's all over.
So the first and original one was bishop takes a4.
Dark said, can we skip this song? BTW's so creepy.
Indeed we can. I've got the whole creepy ritual going on the 1000 Best of the Best is also an excellent book. Check out Chess Informant. They have sales on these books. This book, which I have been through cover to cover. I mean, I admit that I need to work on my calculation skills. Oh. But I have the book that I did originally. And then I have a brand new version of the book that I'm keeping sort of pristine as the collector's item, which I've only had to use a couple of times because I can't find the one that I've beaten up so badly. Well, I do know where the other one is, but usually is right there. But almost everything from Informant. By the way, the other really great book, if you really want some eye-opening tactics and you want enjoyment. Like I said, it doesn't really matter, but I think going through the World Champions game is essential to seeing the beginning, middle, and end. But the duo of Chess Informant books, these are like lessons. Each game is a lesson with a bit of a conclusion on what happened just now. And it works out really, really well. These two books, Positional Sacrifice. Now, if you can imagine positional queen sacrifices, there are a handful in history that you will note, and they're all worth checking out.
https Lycus org broadcast shack SM 2024 Sfera G Masterklassen Rond 1 MWWMB8 UK 762 QCXF.
That's just the latest in the Swedish championships that are now going on. Johnny Hector ripped to shreds. Wait, this is still round 1. How do I change it to round 2? Control C. I'm going to put up the link for round 2. I'll put it over there. That's where I should have put it. The Swedish championships. I don't know the direct translation of those initials when they say the SM, but I think that basically means the Swedish Masters or Swedish Championships.
Pegasus Sway said, Tiger thinks.
On the stream, Tiger thinks, exactly. Martin Lokander, by the way, wrote a very good book on defending against e4, the open games as black. Basically, I think he covers everything, possibly including. Let's just go to watch broadcasts.
Pegasus Sway said, 56 minutes in one move, move 5.
Oh my God. I've known Tiger for a long time now. I also met him around 2011 or 2010 when I met the young Aryan Tari. Aryan Tari was around 2,000 in strength then instead of 27 or high 2,600. Tiger just has to start ripping his opponent's heads off. I'm not sure why he's playing like this. I don't see the 56 minutes here unless that was against Johnny Hector.
Dark Blade said, I'll take.
Yeah. Yes, let's do it. Post it in the Discord, yeah. Games for analysis, I see it, I think. The most obnoxious game you've ever played. Alright, let's do this. Let's... Oh, I see. We have to open the study. Got it. Hold on 1 second. I need to reroute. You sort of shared it with me this way, but I am going to share it with myself in a way that I can get it into... Or can I? Hold on, I'm going to try to import this PGN into the... And I'll make you a contributor. Copy. Learn. Study. My public studies.
Dark Blade said, I made a study to write my thought process too, just in case it helps you.
No worries. 1 second. PGN. I do want you to. So Leela Knight Odds, Dragon Emperor. Put you back to being a contributor here. Take Momo Chess off of that one for a moment. And now it should be under studies you contribute to, sir. Let's try not to have the engine on just yet. I just want to look at it relatively clean. So Knight Odds, right? I don't blame you for what you did. This is all seemingly very good. There's nothing wrong with your position. You are so winning in this position. So here's already against this structure right here. First order of business is to get rid of this bad bishop. I'd place it on a6. Probably play queen to d7, b6, bishop a6. I mean, you can develop normally, but you do have to solve the problem of that bishop at some point or another. So he's actually traded pieces to go into a game that...
Sway said, reserve stone wall. Reserve stone wall.
And honestly, we can do almost anything we'd like in this position, whether b5, b4, b5 followed by knight to c4. So you try to give back a pizza on that deal. Yeah, we're already in trouble. He's got a winning attack. I think white's better here. Queen takes. Yeah, how are we going to stop this mate? He's threatening rook takes h6. He may even have rook h6 right now. No? Yes? Maybe not. But it's interesting that he chose to move his bishop back in this direction. And we have to watch out for bishop h5, so we can't play rook to d8. So he just gave back the piece. With check, no less. Uh-oh. This does not bode well. So this is actually a bot, Leela Knight Odds. What a great bot. But your goal is to reach the end game. Everything that you do should be aimed at reaching the end game. I'm not entirely sure why we didn't shove him back even further here, or break with c5. Just leave that bishop looking very awkward, because we should be going to the queen side to take advantage of these squares. No, I understand that, but we can do almost anything here. The recommended line is multifold. Basically, the recommended line is the line that makes you comfortable. Personally, I would not be comfortable, so I don't think I could play the recommended line by Stockfish. I don't defend like Stockfish. So in general, he's keeping these lines closed as much as possible. I'm really shocked that we were able to get here.
Pegasus
so knight to d6, huh?
2nf6 best move for black.
Yeah. So in this position, why are we panicking? I agree that you don't have queen to e7 because a knight takes, queen takes, and bishop to e6.
Here I just had to dare play the backwards move, but both are. Here I just had to dare play the backwards move, but both are equal in quotes.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that completely. We still don't have queen e7 because of rook f7 and bishop g6. After all, you are up a knight, so maybe you can survive this.
Dark Blade said. Yet I made a note that I discarded QE7.
I am reading your notes now, after the fact a little bit. Knight takes b2. I mean, if he has to play that move, it certainly does seem like the best move. I'm not going to look at Stockfish here. But interestingly enough, maybe we can preface it with bishop e8 or improving our pieces. Basically getting this rook into the game. You're not actually up a knight if you don't use the rook on a8 or the rook on f8. Basically, you are down in material. It's 3 pieces against your king. And you have that knight and this bishop which aren't doing anything. Like the priorities and getting the pieces out were not there. So here you put your pieces on natural squares, and as we already know, natural moves can lead to natural disasters. There's probably no reason to exchange on d4 just yet either. So for example, his whole world is aiming at this side of the board. I probably would not castle into this attack at all. I might even lock up the queen side and go queen side or leave my king in the center. I also would seek further exchanges here with the idea of knight e4 after bishop e7. So he knew what you're up to, so he does that. And now he's actually threatening to play this move. I had a beautiful game earlier. Maybe it was in my earliest game today against Charles Numero Uno, where I tricked him into allowing me to play bishop h4 check. Now he cannot sacrifice too much more material, interestingly enough. He cannot sacrifice too much more material. Already we're down all of this material. We can't use it. He's bringing in a queen and a rook. He's got this perfect position. The irony about playing against certain computers is that once you play a move, you only need to keep playing that move over and over and over again. Like in this particular position, are we really getting checkmated? Yes, we are. Are we really getting checkmated? Yes, we are. Queen to g7, bishop h5, mate.
Dark Blade said. Right before the kill I actually survived, but it's a crazy line. Pegasus sway. Nice.
Yeah. Rook f6. Oh, rook f6, the blockading move. Yeah, rook f6 indeed. That rook f6 was brutal. Yeah, I think you should survive this. But you just have to make sure that you don't give up any material. And this might give up material. Right? Like, what's he going to do? He has to get more pieces in the game. Right now you're up a rook. And a knight.
Dark Blade said, check the move there. Check the move there.
Queen takes g7. Oh, he plays rook takes b7. But yeah, you don't have to recapture.
Dark Blade said, RxB7 is so disgusting of a move though, why does that RxB7 is so disgusting of a move though, why does that exist?
Because our king is not safe. We have the less safe king. He's got a completely safe king. That's why it exists. So knight to c4.
Pegasus Sway said, no mate on c7.
This does look pretty hard to survive.
Dark Blade said, I mean yes, but he has, Pegasus Sway said, bh5 first.
He could also do that as well. Oh yeah, so that's awkward. So he has bishop h5 as well after rook to b7 if we move anything. So what do we do here? Castle queenside. Mate. Castle queenside, allowing queen to c7 mate. I want that Rosen score, darn it. I need an egg opening.
Dark Blade said, what I do there is I have to find some ridiculous only move to survive, which I wouldn't do.
Right. That's craziness. Alright, well now that we're here, I'm willing to do this. And I want to cover it up when it actually finishes. I have to admit, this looks like it's pretty good training, being up a piece against Leela.
Said, I mean it's annoying because the engine plays some objectively worse lines which are somehow harder for humans. It knows what's gonna be a pain for me and it drives me crazy. I mean it's...
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. So in this particular position, it's possible that this is the simplest move, right? No, can't be. So yeah, e takes d4 is
Dark
the
Blade
threshold.
said, indeed, but there's no way I'd win that.
Well, I just realized that we can't castle. After queen takes g7, we cannot castle. For some strange reason, we've lost our castling ability. All right? It's awkward. Let's put our questions over here that we were talking about for Paul earlier. Basically, we're going to answer the question of how was the game won? Where? Oh no, I want to use something else. Who, what, why?
Pegasus Sway said, BH5 then
When?
take on QXF8.
When were the mistakes made? Or more productive moves? What, where, which, how, when, and
Pegasus
why?
Sway said, QXG7 BH5 is strong.
Yeah, bishop h5 is just a game over.
Dark
Yep.
Blade said, I believe my mistake was the pawn structure I allowed, but why does it matter so much that I'm powerless?
Basically, when someone is down in material, they want to keep the lines closed. If they keep the lines closed, then your rooks are not in the game. If your rooks are not in the game, then you are not able to combat them getting their rook into the game first. As I mentioned earlier and often previously, the stronger player gets the rooks to the right squares better and faster than the opponent. And if you're not going to be using your rooks, right, like rook odds, is there Leela rook odds? Can you play Leela queen odds? Let's take a quick peek. So there is a bot called Leela Queen Odds.
Dark Blade said, I have beaten Queen for Knight odds first try.
Queen for Knight. What was that one? You start down a knight and they start down a queen. Who are these people and how do we...
Dark Blade said, pretty much yes.
So you get 15 minutes and they get 1 minute. And you get 15 minutes plus 10 seconds. That's fascinating. lc0.org. Fascinating. Oh, they don't let you edit the position that easily. But they do seem to let you edit it.
Said, I found the Queen for Knight game if you wanna check real quick for the funds https likus org xi1.
Hold, steady. And we'll put that one into viewer games 2. So this is Queen for Knight. Again, you're not finishing your opening. You're playing into its hands just a little bit. You should definitely be finishing the opening stage of the game, regardless of what's happening here. Now you finish the opening, you're in good shape. And notice that because you're white, you're actually getting a little bit of a leg up. This game is a lot more difficult when you're black. Yeah, that one is pretty easy. Same as queen odds. That's very cool. And then Leela Rook odds as well. Hold on, I'm clicking on that update that I just put in the Discord.
Said.
The breakthrough with the queen sack was the only difficulty, yeah. Sometimes you just have to give back the material in order to finish them off. The awkwardness of it all. Leela queen odds. Leela rook odds.
Dark Blade said, "What would I need to do to get you to try Leelanite odds just once?"
What? I'm not accepting challenges at the moment. That's awkward.
Dark Blade said, "It needs a particular time control."
Oh, right. It has to be 15 minutes to 1 second, right? So when I click on this, it can't be 1 minute for one side. Then 10 seconds, for example.
Dark Blade said, "I think it's Lether Blitz or Rapid with at least one SEC increment."
Let's do it this way. Leela Queen for night. Play as black. I wonder if it's not playing rated games. I like to only play rated games. That is the awkwardness. The only time that I won't play a rated game.
Dark Blade said, "Yet it can't play rated."
Without a king side knight and without a queen side knight.
Dark Blade said, "It would get banned if it could."
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, it keeps bringing it up in a different window. That's what it does. C'est la vie. All right, we'll work on this. I will experiment with it. I will consider it. You've asked me to do this before. I will consider it. "24-hour death stream courtesy of Hamster Ham 88. Very good. Is Sarah Herman on our list of banned streamers to raid? That's a good question. She could well be. I think she was, she offended Arsenal fan Richie. Or was that the other one that offended Arsenal fan Richie?
Darkblade said, I personally recommend 10.5 because it makes endgames hellish.
10 plus 5? With Lee Chess? Or in general? So right now we're at 27 followers. I'm debating on whether or not we're going to try an egg opening as well. We have our Discord channel, by the way, everyone. I'm going to try a simul to improve my...
Said, for the night odds, I mean yet.
Yeah, for the night odds. Basically, I'm gonna do a Rosen stream egg simul if I can, and take a break for a moment. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be doing it today, tomorrow, or the next day, but where are we and what does it all mean?
Fandifranjadres said, hey, what s up? Dark.
How are you, Fandifranjadres?
Do it please, and I mean please record it. I gotta sleep now, but I don't wanna miss it.
Alright, we will see how this works. We will raid Zefcat. The 24-hour death stream continues.
Fandifranjadres said,
wait, is Key in chess?
Whole bunch of smarty pants are all...
Anyway, let's roll the tape on our ending credits just to get that out of the way. I'm a big believer in all chess informant games, chess informant studies, and chess informant instruction. Paul Rieger, thank you for the new follow, and thanks everyone for the YouTube.
Said,
please check in on YouTube.
So much, Sensei. I'm indebted to you as always.
Check out my games. By the way, Paul, on YouTube. Basically, we all make mistakes. We all struggle in tough positions. It's how well you recover from those tough positions that make a difference. And I should do a Pegasus playlist as well while I'm at it. Needless to say, I am also available on all of my socials, which has the Discord link in there as well. Let me make sure that Discord link is still good. Uh-oh, that invite is invalid. So what about the current Discord link? Make sure that one's good. Good. That one's good. All right, cheers and ciao, everyone.